Wasn't the one that came from. You're moving better than you were the last couple of Sundays.
Okay, thank you.
As long as I'm moving a little quicker, that's all I want.
I'd like to call to order the regular monthly business meeting of the Avery County Board of Commissioners, April the 7th, 2025. Dennis, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Lord, we are grateful to you for the day that we are given here. Thank you for the opportunity to be together to conduct the business of this county. And Lord, we pray that your hand would be upon those in our communities that feel the need, that are experiencing difficulties in so many different ways. Lord, may your peace be upon them. And we pray, Lord, that as we make decisions here tonight and hear the concerns of this county, that we would do so in a way that would be honorable to you, that we would reach conclusions that would be beneficial to citizens of Avery County. In Christ's name, amen.
Thank you. Let's stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will go to 3.2, proclamations and awards. Mr. Barry.
So we do have a proclamation in front of you for the board's adoption tonight, whereas sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in Avery County, and whereas 1 in 5 women in the United States experience attempted or completed rape in their lifetime, and 24.8% of men, whereas Oasis Incorporated, the local nonprofit serving survivors of domestic and sexual violence, received over 4,586 crisis and information calls from this community in the fiscal year 23-24. And whereas the yearly observance of Sexual Assault Awareness Month focuses on increasing the public's awareness of this issue of sexual violence and services available to support those impacted, as well as acknowledging the efforts of citizens, service programs, government agencies, and criminal justice system who work to improve prevention efforts and serve survivors. Now therefore it be resolved that the Avery County Board of Commissioners join applicants and communities across the country in taking action to prevent sexual violence. Along with the United States government, the state of North Carolina, we do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the proclamation regarding Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Let's move to 3.2B, public comment. Before we get started, I'm going to read this. The time limit for any comment to the board is 3 minutes. Board members are not expected to comment or take any action on matters during the public comment. Any individual speaking during public comment shall address the entire board. Any person who willfully interrupts, disturbs, or disrupts the session will be asked to leave the meeting. If you would like to speak to one agenda item or speak during public comment, you must sign up on the sheets at the door. Time limit to speak to an agenda item is also 3 minutes. Please silence all cell phones or electronic devices. And we do have Ms. Rebecca Corrigan from Newland to
Would
speak.
you like a copy of this?
Please. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Corrigan.
I would like to thank the board for this opportunity to address them concerning a crisis within this county. The closing of the Avery County Senior Center, Mr. Barrier told me that that's not necessarily on the table anymore. This center is a lifeline to many of our seniors and disabled residents. The Senior Center is an integral service in Avery County. Some of their functions include Medicare advice, help with taxes, bingo, bowling, other games, arranging day trips, temporary care providers, blood pressure checks, limited house cleaning services, home delivered meals, and other activities. Then, Hurricane Helene, September 27th, 2024. Mr. Adams and the staff did their very best with what they had to work with, diligently contacting everyone to verify their safety. Emergency food kits were provided to the home delivered meals list. A food truck prepared meals for weeks. I have volunteered for the Senior Center for over 20 years, including delivering close to 10,000 meals and making lifetime friendships. Thank God for Linville Resorts, who stepped up time and time again, ensuring home-delivered meals and congregate lunches for Avery County seniors population could continue. They extended the stay for the Senior Center in their mission from February through April. Without Linville Resorts, our seniors would not have hot meals. During meal deliveries, that person is their primary contact with the outside world. We have reported unsafe and medical conditions that needed addressing to the Senior Center staff, who contacts a family member. Countless times, I personally have cleaned and bandaged scrapes, cuts, or minor injuries and asked if they had taken required medications. On occasion, I've called EMS when clients were more seriously injured, including broken hips. Sometimes that person had been totally incapacitated for hours on end. How long would they have lain there if a person delivering that meal had not come? Their family members have called me when their loved one's time was short to tell me that they would like to see me one last time, and I always go. That's the relationship with volunteers and the seniors. Almost 5 months after Helene destroyed the center, on February 10th, Mr. Barrier advised that the county was looking for bids on a mobile kitchen, and those bids were open for 18 days. How many bids, if any, were submitted? Why wasn't the bidding process opened months earlier? On Tuesday, March 25th, I participated in a telephonic town hall meeting with our serving U.S. House of Representative Chuck Edwards. After my brief explanation of how the Avery County Senior Center was severely damaged during the flood, and a local resort had allowed the use of their facilities until the end of March, I explained that the Senior Center would no longer be able to continue their home-delivered meals. My question was simple. What are you going to do to fix it? His first response, this is the first I've heard about it. Would you like me to stop? I asked what he was going to do to fix it. His first response, this is the first I've heard about it. He said his people would look into that immediately. How is this possible? Did you inform him of the issue? Tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars from both state and federal funding, including FEMA, have been allocated to North Carolina for Hurricane Helene relief. Yet nothing has been done to get Avery County a senior center. Why? How can our representative hear of this issue from the first time from me? Assuming his statement is true, shame on each and every one of you. On March 27th, I delivered a letter to each senior meal recipient which stated that the Senior Center's home delivered meals program will be suspended indefinitely. That day, I shed many tears. I did not want to tell these people who had become part of my life that I didn't know when the next time I would be bringing their much needed and anticipated lunch would be, and I prayed that it wouldn't be long. Mr. Aldridge, these words are directly from your Facebook post. It has never been an option to not do Meals on Wheels. This is not something that we even considered and are working diligently to bring about. We will have a solution. There's no doubt about that. If that statement is true, why do we not have the ability to provide essential services to our most needy and vulnerable? In a quote from the minutes of June 17th, 2024 board meeting, and I quote, "We are the elected body that represents the people of Avery County. It is our responsibility to be aware and make informed decisions based on things that we see." End quote. Mr. Aldridge, I believe that was you, and I understand that that wasn't necessarily pertaining to this. I'd like to add that no meeting minutes are available online after August 25th 2024. Yes, you are the elected body, and Mr. Barrier answers to the board members, and all board members in turn answer to the citizens of Avery County. Did the elders of our community simply fall through the cracks, or was it a dereliction of duty by this board? What are you going to do to ensure the citizens of Avery County will not lose these imperative services at the end of April, when services will no longer be able to be provided? Obviously, the last statement is irrelevant because I've gone well over my 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay, we move on to 3 point, we have no public comment on the agenda item, so we'll move to 3.2D, board appointments, and we need a motion to approve Jeff Smith as on the Agricultural Advisory Board for the grandfather district.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then number 2 is a review of board appointments for the Agricultural Advisory Board, and that is Anna Trivett and Jeff Anson. We'll vote on that next month in the May meeting. Okay, we'll move on to 3.23, review of the board appointment for the Recreation Advisory Committee, and that is Ms. Caroline Turner, and we will review that and vote on that next month too. Move to 3.3, County Commissioner staff items. A, Avery County Ranger annual report, Mr. Richard Carpenter.
Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Richard Carpenter. I'm the county ranger for Avery. I grew up here in Avery County. Graduated from Haywood Community College in 2011. Gained a lot of experience working with the Wildlife Commission, and then moved back into the Forest Service. This is the job I wanted when I went to school. I'm passionate about forest management and wildfire suppression. Within the first year, the fiscal year, 23-24, me being here, I've been tasked with going through a 2-year program, which is ranger training, and it's pretty extensive. I've successfully completed it at the end of this month. It took a year for me to complete a 2-year program. So if you look at this report and you see numbers are kind of low, it's been because I have been put through the ringer with a lot of stuff. And one of the biggest questions that we wanted to answer is, I've had a lot of people contact me about timber damage through Helene, things that's went on, and our wildfire danger right now, and we are in a pretty severe state. From what my data is showing, we're right at over 35% timber damage within the countywide. So Michael Krause is going to have a little bit to throw at you and show you some information here. We got some high form data that's going to show actual canopy coverage and where that timber was lost. But I want to go into this just a little bit more. Since Helene, we have 240 acres of EFRP land that's being managed. And EFRP is Emergency Forest Restoration Plan that's through the Farm Service Agency. So the Forest Service is writing those plans. That's something that was not added to y'all's report that you have in hand. But it's just some information I felt like you probably needed to know. During 23 and 24, I inspected 2 logging sites, 74 acres. The Forest Service also aided with hemlock adelgid treatments, education of various landowners. Forest Service also released predatory beetles at the Cross North Mountain Training Facility to actually get a good grip on the population of hemlock adelgid and see if that's actually going to work as a mitigation effort. Avery County Fire Control 23-24, we had 35 wildfires, 16.54 acres burned. Largest was 4 acres. 5-year average is 38 wildfires per year, so 12 false alarms. The number 1 cause of wildfires in the county still is by debris burning. We protected number of houses was 13, estimated cost was 2.37 million. Number of structures is 17, estimated replacement cost for those structures would have been 2.79 million. And there was some mix-up going there to begin with, you know. They had a hard time finding somebody to seat as the county ranger and somebody for the position. Michael Kraus, Robbie Freeman, and Jason O'Neill was here in that time to cover, and they've done a great job. We currently also have, as far as community wildfire protection plans, there's been 10 CWPP plans under revision through federal grant funding. And that's pretty much what I have on this. Grants awarded in the county also is the 50/50 program. It was $39,366.50, and that goes to any of the fire departments in rural communities to where they can buy any equipment for wildfire suppression. So that's pretty much what I have so far, and I'm gonna hand you over to Kraus. Oh yeah, and my counterpart here, this is Dylan Moody. He's a new smoke chaser. He actually started today. Today's his first day.
Breaking him in right, first day, and here we go. Like you said, my name's Michael Kraus. I'm out of the North District office, just off the mountain. Been up here helping Rich quite a bit. I've seen some of you before. But our biggest problem is with Helene. It wasn't just the water. Water's what everybody's seen, water's what everybody still sees, but it was also timber damage. How much? Well, they were a lot. Avery County got the brunt of anywhere from 80 to 90, 100 mile an hour wind gusts. Y'all familiar with that? Y'all live here, but the vast majority of Avery County was hit very, very hard. Some of this purple color, Rome Mountain and different places, was over 100 mile an hour wind. So it was significant. I was up here helping clean up debris, open up roads and stuff. After that, I've seen this place turned into a zoo. Y'all had people everywhere, and y'all know about that. But this is one of my better photos of the damage in Avery County. This is from Beach Mountain Road, looking back over at Dark Ridge. And it is a expansive, probably 60, 70 acre place that's just pretty much leveled. And it's going to be an issue for those landowners getting it logged. I mean, land up here is pretty steep, pretty rocky. It becomes an issue. We have some ways to do it, but it's also, a lot of this presentation is going to revolve around to the landowner. The landowner has to take that first step. The housing people at the HOAs, they got to take the first step, and we're going to try and tell a little bit about the steps. But the damage up here is significant. So this map shows a rough area of all of western North Carolina. It says 822,000 acres where timberland was damaged. And, you know, millions and millions of dollars. 21% of that public Forest Service, 78% of that's private. 1% was on reserve land. So how does that break down for Avery County? The total acres in Avery County is 74,000. So the actual damage come up to, where's the one? It was 35%. But here's the millions of dollars that it took. The total value in Avery was 16,328 and 90% there. So the biggest thing that's been on the news has been forest fires. Y'all seen all the forest fires. Well, why didn't that happen here? Anybody's guess. The occurrence is here. He said 35 fires last year. So that's 35 chances to have the same thing on the news. So the damage is here, the fuels are here, it's coming. So one thing about this picture that I want you to look at is March, 10-year average is 891 fires statewide for 4,784 acres. What we just went through was 1,851 incidents for 17,841 acres statewide. And if you look on this map, most of the larger fires, and the fires are in western North Carolina. So it's only gonna take the right place, the right time, and boom, there it is. And the bad part is the trees fell with the leaves on. The leaves are still holding on those trees. So when the little fire comes through and it gets up into that, it goes exponential, however high it is, and it is going. So we had a very active March. We're getting rain now, but what makes fires bad is droughts. You've probably also seen on the news, and the commissioners had a report, but a lot of these slides I have has an actual website that you can go and check. So this was the other day, it was low, but before this, we were running extreme, pretty much that or very high on the whole state. So drought carries a big player into all these fires. And you can see this is the current drought map. You can pull up the drought map on Thursday. They actually run and create the map on Tuesday, but it's produced on Thursday. So we start running drought, and you see this is current. All this stuff's current. We're there. So we extend drying days, and it just stacks just like Legos. Just one after another. So here's one way to get this out to the public and try and do some good in Avery County. It's called Firewise. Somebody's nodding your head, you know what I'm talking about. Well, what we're going to have to do, Rich is working on it, we're going to have to find the mayors of these communities, the go-to man, or lady, whoever it is, don't matter. And you got to develop a committee, get some people on board, and get it to work. But the idea is the immediate area around the house needs to be clean, leaf-free, flame-resistant stuff. Then you bump out to different levels after that. But that immediate area next to the house is what saves the house, including the roof. So, just for seeing who, if there was one in Avery County, there's not. The closest one in Watauga is hound ears. The closest one in Mitchell was, what's it called? Pine something.
Swiss Pine Lake.
Yeah, there, Swiss Pine Lake. So, we don't have one. It's actually a national recognized thing. You can pull up this map and you can go to it. I think I hit something bad. Anyway. So here's the Emergency Forest Restoration Program that Rich talked about. This is through the USDA. They got to go sign up for it. They got to get a farm number. We got to go out and look at it, do a plan. Plan gets approved. They get reimbursed 75%. So it's a pretty good deal to get your logging roads back open, which helps us fight fire, get the timber up, which reduces the fuels, and put down cover crops that prevents erosion, and just it fixes a lot of problems. And they have a lot of different avenues of different layers in that thing to get help. So this is great. Another thing that we do in the Forest Service is a free program that you have to apply for is a fuel removal program. That's also in the communities, the bigger communities, and basically they go in and remove the brush, put the brush beside the road, we come through and get it up. Similar to what's happening now with them big trucks, but we don't do the big truck part. But like I say, this is the program as well. Now one last thing I wanted to show you is, I have to play the mouse on the chest here. Get it over here. Alright, so this is pretty neat. This is region-wide satellite imagery that picks up disturbances in the tree canopy. So since Helene hit with the leaves on, we were able to get this data and show the disturbances or the lack of removable of vegetation. So as you can see, Buncombe was hit pretty good, Yancey. Mitchell's worst. There's no doubt Mitchell's the worst. But if we zoom in here to Avery, you start picking up stuff. I drive by this one every time I come up here. This is at 105 up there across from Peddling Pig and in that area. It's bad. You can see that, it's bad. Dark Ridge was, on up here. I have to turn the roads on to get my bearings. But You know, Dark Ridge is right here, that place we was talking about. But basically what this map represents, let me take the roads back off, is anything that is in red is pretty much leveled to at least 75% of it down. And the lighter the color, the less. So as you can see, there's this one little place over here that wasn't affected. And the really crazy thing is you can come in here, for example, you can follow the river. That's what's scary. You can actually see the disturbances of the Elk River going all the way to Watauga Lake. What's really scary is you see this is red, whatever that was is no longer there. When you see these new blue piles, that's additional stuff that was washed into the lake showing up as add-ons. So you can go down here and you can do the Toe River the same way. I mean, it's very, very sad what happened, you know, in our mountain. But with this data, we have actually went out and pinpointed some areas in the county and talked with landowners and told them about these steps and have made forward progress on getting some of the debris up. Are we gonna get it all? There's no way possible. There's just, it's so much, we won't never make a 100% impact. But any impact we make can save structures, save people's lives, and do some good in Avery County. I was in Polk County 3 times. I witnessed houses burned down. I witnessed saving houses. It takes effort. And we have a saying in the Forest Service, this is what I'm going to leave you with. We can't fix what years of neglect has happened to a structure in the 20 or 30 minutes we got before a fire gets there. So landowners have to do their part, take care of their houses, and keep all this material and stuff away from it to give us a fighting chance. But you can see, Avery was hit pretty good. Any questions y'all may have, please refer them to the county ranger since he's local. He'll ask me. He asks me every day, I got a question for you. That's fine, but need your ground contact.
Rick, one thing, a lot of the programs for private land, the public land, we have a large swath of public land in the county also. And I'm assuming that's going to be remediated in a similar fashion.
I don't know if they'll do timber sales, but I'm assuming they probably will. And that's what, and here's the problem with a lot of this is it's on the ground. It's not going to heal itself. It's not going to continue to live. And landowners are going to lose an investment in the timber. So the reality of it is you have to have timber sales. Do you have to clear cut? No. But most of it, as you saw in that one picture, is on the ground, so you might as well clear cut it while they're there and then start over. But to answer your question about the public land, they'll probably have some salvage cuts and harvesting and all that kind of stuff. I know they've had some firewood gathering along the sides of the roads and that kind of stuff, but there's a large section of the national forest down there that, you know, is going to be time consuming just to get it done.
I think there's 24,000 acres is public land.
Yeah, that's big. Big. Well, fortunate though, if you look at that map, the part that borders Caldwell didn't get tore up as bad.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work to do here, not only on the streams and the roads and all that stuff, but this woodland stuff is a eye-opening thing when you go off to Polk County or you go off to Asheville and you see this stuff burn. And when I'm telling you it burns, I'm talking flame 10, 20 feet high, stuff that we can't mess with. Dozers can't really get in there and mess with it because we're running in the trees as wide as these tables that's just blown down. You know, what we like to fight fire is usually waist high or less with hands. You know, bulldozers head high or a little more, but we're talking twice our heads, and it's rough. It's rough.
One thing I'll add to this is these images were taken right around the 1st of October. So, you know, the wind blowing as fast as it was, the poplars let their leaves go pretty quick. So one thing that we are trying to do moving forward is to get a better grip on what we actually have. Because shortly after Helene, I think it was 9 days after, we ended up having some rain after that. And that brought on some more landslides. We might have lost some more timber. We're trying to get a flight lined up to where we can better look at this and get it a little bit closer to find out exactly what we're missing, what we've lost. So, you know, that's our goal moving forward, is just try to get a better grip on what we got. And, you know, the region has also requested some things from Raleigh that can benefit the county. The main thing is, okay, so there's a couple things. The first thing is the region is wanting to establish a 22-man crew and have them stationed out in 5-man units throughout the mountain region. That way, it's like a hotshot crew. They'll be able to come in, you know, if we pop a bad fire, they'll be able to come in and help us get it cleaned up. And they'll also do fuel mitigation work. So they'll do burning as well to help reduce fuel burn. Another thing that actually came up was an FFEO, which is a Forest Firefighter Equipment Operator. And they're really unsure on where they want to put one of those, but the closest one to us will be Ashe County, because they have the facility to actually house that unit, and they're looking at maybe it being an 8-month position, 11-month position. But as far as Avery County, what we could do would be adding an ACR position to the county, because it's just too much for one permanent full-time and an 8-month smoke chaser to handle. You know, most of my time since I've been here, I've been doing this by myself, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and I love this county, and I love these people, and to get us in a better position where people can be safe. I feel like that's one thing that we really need to think about doing, is adding another full-time position so we can have better coverage on this stuff. And that's pretty much all I have. I appreciate you guys for letting me come up here and talk. I appreciate the board members and the county staff. And if there's anything else that you guys need from me, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Give me a call. I'm always available.
Now, I think we did have a training here that I think you participated in with our landscapers. Had some people coming in talking about the FireWise process. So we have tried to reach out to those that have the decision making in their communities to initiate that and try to get that word out.
That's huge. I mean, and I've got 22 years in. I'm a second generation ranger. I've been in it, I say 45 years. To be honest with you, you're only one fire start away from a Gatlinburg. Anything that's on a south slope or a southwest slope in this community, they were hit hard with these winds, and that's the warmest, driest topography there is. And that'd be my priority one. If you're on the north face, northwest face, northeast face, you stand a better chance. But anything on that southern side, like Eagle's Nest, some of these other ones that we talked about at his office, you're just one fire away on the right day of it being catastrophic. I'm talking losing homes and heaven forbid somebody's life. I mean, this problem's serious. All the way from Virginia down to Georgia and Tennessee and South Carolina, everywhere. This is going to be an ongoing problem for probably the next 10, 15 years. Because that brush and all that fuel ain't going away anytime soon.
And I will add this too. as far as fire-wise communities and stuff, I have been pushing, to speak with representatives from Linville Ridge, Joel Whitley. I've talked to him a couple of times, and I'm working to try to get them on board with the fire-wise communities. That way we can make those communities a little bit more safe. And before too long, myself and Jonathan Hartzell from Blue Ridge RC&D is probably going to be going to these places and, putting on a workshop, just talking to them and trying to get them involved in fire-wise. But thank you.
Thank you.
To 3.3B, archaeological monitoring, SDR, miscellaneous.
Thank you all for having me. I guess the topic of archaeological monitoring goes hand in hand with our waterway debris removal. What FEMA and EHP, I believe that all of y'all got the printout we had sent. They determine what sites need archaeological monitoring, and that's the monitoring that Debris Tech, that our current monitor, does not do. We're required, before we do those sites, to have an archaeological monitor in at that time. And there's been a lot of confusion on my part of exactly what are they talking about. Well, on the historical side, that's easy. It might be a graveyard. It might be we have a few sites that are down on the Elk River near Mill Pond, so that makes sense. The old mill and the cheese house going behind there, those are historical sites. But the archaeological sites, we don't get a lot of description. This is FEMA and EHP do not give us a description of why we need them. They just say, to do this work, you need them. And that didn't make a lot of sense to me. So I dug in a little bit farther on the archaeological. They kind of keep these sites that might be an issue under kind of lock and key. They don't want the public knowing about archaeological sites. They don't want people digging in there. They don't want people messing with them. So that's why they need to be monitored. And I think the breakdown of the cost, the daily cost, I believe, worst case scenario, it's about $3,000 a day. Best case scenario, we're going to try to do a couple of sites with one monitor one day because they're side by side. I think we have a total of 5 sites. Out of the hundreds that we've been doing, we've only come across 5, and these are things not brought up by us or Debris Tech. It is FEMA and EHP that are requiring it. So I think like right now, I believe we have 5. Not to say that's all that we're going to have. As we include more extensions and more sites as we go, they might find something. So 5 sites, $3,000 a day, $15,000. Worst case scenario. We'll try to push as much work as we can in on those days, because each one of those sites is estimated to be about a day's worth of work.
Sorry not to interrupt, but I'd like
Yeah,
Ms. Cindy to let the record reflect that I've recused myself from.
Well, I think what we need to do is just ask for it to allow Commissioner Benfield to recuse himself from any discussion or vote on this matter.
More? Is everybody good?
In agreement.
With yourself? Okay.
You don't have to leave.
No.
Sit here and keep my mouth shut. Which is what I usually do.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Who determines where these sites are?
It's EHP, and EHP is the state and federal. I guess I would consider it a blanket organization. It takes in SHPO, environmental, all of these 3-letter government organizations that have to do with waterways. They have overlays of maps, and they look at our GPS coordinates saying, we have a problem here, we need to clean this debris. I mean, we saw it on the map, all these red lines that need to be cleaned out. What they do is they look at their maps and say, okay, is there anything of historical or environmental even that's significant?
But my question is, who determined that they were historical or environmental?
EHP
Really,
and FEMA.
nobody knows where they're at or anything about it.
SHPO does. And like I said, they know, the historical is more buildings.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Do you know what constitutes an archaeological site? I mean, you kind of said you don't know because they won't tell you, but
Right.
is there some form or some procedure that determines that we would know, that we could know about as a group?
Well, that's what, I kept bumping up against that. I finally talked to somebody in Soil and Water that deals with these instances when, well, in a year or hopefully less, when NRCS comes in and starts rebuilding the banks and stuff, they're gonna run into this a lot because they're actually digging. I'm not even digging, I'm just picking up debris that's in the waterway. Once SHPO or EHP comes back at that time, because we've done that in Haywood County, we've run into that a good little bit. If we have a box culvert that's going in, it's been engineered, and they look at the GPS coordinates and said, no, it's not going there. Really don't give you a reason why. It's a archaeological place, and that's the end of it. I wish I had a better answer for you. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I know this is getting off the subject a little bit, but waterways. As of today, we are at 377,491 linear feet completed, and cubic yardage hauled 56,908 cubic yards. That's probably 30% of what we got piled. I know y'all see the piles out there beside the river. I just wanted y'all to get somewhat of an update. I know sometimes the reporting lags a little bit, but I just pulled that off in the parking lot when I walked in today. Y'all have any other?
I guess
So
what we need to do is establish a not to exceed or for this proposal.
yeah, we do, but
Now, good,
do we give them permission to, I guess, to proceed? We've done that. We haven't done that, not on
Not on
that's
this.
what I'm saying. We really haven't given
did
them
you not
permission
already
to proceed.
clean up one place on Toll River?
I did.
That's one of the 5.
That's not. I paid for it myself
Yeah,
personally.
but that's one of the 5 that had been,
Yes.
so there's actually 4.
Forward to go.
There is 4, possibly 5. There's one that has, I just use that number 5 as something safe. We actually had 6. I tossed one out because it was about soil disturbance. We're not disturbing, but one of them looks a little funny. So I thought, to be on the safe side right now, we have 5. I would use that number.
I just don't want us.
And this contract is not daily, it's on a as-needed basis.
It's on an as-needed basis.
And it could be half a day.
It
They
could-
could come in and knock it out.
It could be, and if you look at some of those other ones, the gentleman that I had that came in to do the first one, he happened to be local, so you'll see some people that come out of Tennessee at $750 a day, local guy at $250. Well, luckily he was $250 that day. I'd love to get him back. He went to high school here. He is local, and he is an approved vendor. That's another thing. I can't just get anybody to do this. They have to be approved because I guess it's a little more secretive than what I thought on this archaeological stuff. Yeah.
So we do need to have a motion to proceed with archaeological knowledge?
I think that would be with the understanding that this agreement indicates that it's a maximum of $19,000.
So would we need to set that NTE as a part of this motion?
Will that be separate? I would assume, but I don't know.
I think you can do it in one.
One.
That's what this says, it's $19,000,
Okay,
not to exceed $19,000.
okay.
I think this is one of those situations where we're constrained by the forces that are above us in terms of how we must proceed in order to get this dealt with. So I would move that we approve the archaeological contract with a not to exceed amount of $19,000.
Need a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to 3.3C, private property removal, the debris catching Sandra. Come up.
And I think similarly, the board can go ahead, and I think Commissioner Benfield wanted to make a motion to recuse himself from the discussion and vote on this matter.
I did. Separate motion. So I guess we have to make a separate motion, not since it's continuous.
So I need a motion for you to recuse yourself, or you just want to, you need a motion for you to
It's just
recuse?
for the board to approve that by consensus.
Okay. Board,
Consensus.
okay.
You good?
All right, go ahead.
Hi, Angela, PPDR. So with the private property debris removal, we've already started the signups in Avery County. We're up to 299 signups so far in Avery County. Out of those 299, I have submitted 94 packets for approval for the county to approve to do an NTP to give us for the contractor to start work. Not sure what questions y'all may have.
Anybody got any questions about the private property removal? Okay.
Good?
So,
Do we need a motion on that private property removal?
Or just consensus?
consensus to move forward
Yeah.
and,
Continue on.
and this not to exceed will be part of the overall not to exceed
Yeah.
amounts, correct?
Correct. For
Okay.
debris taken was
We-
the,
Everybody
Which we-
understands that?
Which we
Okay.
adjusted last meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
and this will just include the private property and commercial property debris removal. This will not be part of the demolition process because of course that will be the last step.
Right. Okay, board, consensus for everybody?
Consensus. Me.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will move to 3.3D, tax and administrative report, Ms. Andrea Turner.
Okay. Please approve my collections for the month of March, $881,734.13.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just a little side note, my report that I did back in February, we were at 91% collection rate. Right now, we're at 97 and change, so we've basically caught up to what we should be.
Well,
Okay. Please approve my releases of $8,100.48. And out of that $8,220.60 is the only part that's actually being released. The $8,000 is being rebilled. Or roughly $8,000 is being rebilled.
Need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Our sales for the month of March 2025, we had 52 sales at 66%. March of last year, we had 26 sales at 59%. Let's see, was I right? Yeah, I had 56 sales March, I'm sorry. I had 56 sales March of 2024 at 72%. And then I put all my sales in there. Do y'all have any questions?
Got any questions? Did a good job, thank you, man.
Oh, wait a minute, I forgot.
Okay.
I do have something else. Volunteer Avery, I loaned them a cubicle space in my office until they find a space to go, and that seems to be okay. So hopefully that's all right with everybody.
Thank you.
I think we're good everywhere else.
Let's move to 3.3E, resolution in support of North Carolina Senate Bill 248.
So board, before you today to be adopted, if that is the consensus, is the resolution number 11, 2025, in support of North Carolina Senate Bill 248, whereas the North Carolina Association of Register of Deeds has advocated for legislation to improve access to vital records for all North Carolina citizens, including those who have been adopted, and whereas Senate Bill 248 has been introduced to authorize North Carolina Register of Deeds offices to issue birth records for adopted individuals, thereby expanding access to those records at a local level, and whereas Avery County Board of Commissioners recognize the importance of ensuring access to vital records for all residents and supports the efforts of North Carolina Association of Register of Deeds to advance this critical legislation, be it further resolved that copies of the resolution being forwarded to members of the North Carolina General Assembly representing Avery County, as well as to the North Carolina Association of Register of Deeds, adopted, if voted on, the 7th day of April, 2025.
Need a motion to adopt the resolution in support of North Carolina Senate Bill 248.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Move to 3.4, County Commissioner reports and requests, Avery County Manager report. Mr. Philip Barron.
Afternoon, it's good to be back, good to be here, cane and all. So appreciate everybody's cards and gifts and prayers during this time. So brief Helene update. I just want to tell the citizens, and Richard, you said it right. We love this county, and this storm is 6 months and counting, and we're all hurt. And but we will get through this together. So I just want to again say thank you to the citizens, to the volunteers, to all the organizations that are working every day to put us back to where it may not ever be like it was. But we're going to get there, and we do have hope. Together, we have hope. So we are going to make it. Just a couple of things to remind everyone. The private property debris removal we talked about earlier today, that is on the Facebook page and the website. Please call the number. If you have any problems, call us here at the office, and we will help you with that. The Disaster Recovery Center is now at Malin. Cindy, I believe it's 5 days a week, 8 to 4:30? 8 to 5. So there's resources, and that's where to go. There's still some folks from FEMA, but there's also people from the state and other organizations, and some volunteer organizations. So again, please take advantage of those resources. And again, thank you on behalf of the county. We couldn't get through this without us all working together. So that's my update for Helene. Next is possible facilities for the Avery County Senior Center. County Attorney and I have been working on that. I'm going to turn that over to her on the next steps that we need to take.
Well, as the board is aware, the county is exploring options for that, and I would just ask for the board to grant the manager by consensus the authority to enter into any type of memorandum of intent or a purchase contract for any properties that are able to be used for that purpose.
For consensus, everybody good with that?
Consensus.
Everybody good? Okay.
Okay. And then an update on broadband. It's been a while since we've had one of those. So the GREAT grant is moving along. Got the latest update on that. It's 60% through getting the paperwork on the contracts to be started. The CAB grant, the first CAB grant, which was the $9.9 million, that one is in process. And we were awarded last Tuesday the CAB 2.0 award. That's with Skyline SkyBest. That's another 805 locations that will have fiber to the home. And that award was $1,889,000. So it's been a while, it's been hard, but we are going to get there and try to get affordable, reliable internet to every household in this county. Next grant will be the stopgap grant. Those requests from the state will go out in May, and then the BEAD grant will be, that request will be in July. So we will also apply for those two grants. So hopefully Avery County will obtain all 5 grants, and as soon as the logistics can happen, one day we'll get internet to every household in the county. That'll be our goal. It's been a long time coming. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Move to 3.4B, Finance Officer Report, Mr. Caleb Hogan.
Good afternoon, Board. I have just 3 items for your consideration today. The first item is the Avery County Department of Parks and Recreation has received $25,000 from the Carolina Hurricanes Foundation for Schultz Circle Park to repair the damage from Hurricane Helene. Request the Board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment: to debit capital outlay $25,000 and to credit revenue line Friends of Avery Parks and Recreation $25,000.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2, due to the upcoming retirement in the Registered Deeds Office, they would like to request a full-time temporary position. This would allow the new hire to be fully trained and move into the permanent full-time position on August 1st. Request the Board to approve the following budget amendment: to debit salary Deputy Register of Deeds $6,145, to debit FICA administration $471, and credit fund balance appropriated $6,616.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Item number 3, and the last item I have for your consideration, is a request the Board to make a motion to approve Blackburn, Childers, and Stegall to audit the financial statements of the County of Avery as of and for the year ended June 30th, 2025. The audit will begin in May 2025, and their report will be issued no later than December 31st, 2025, at a price not to exceed $41,500. This represents an increase of $1,850 from the prior fiscal year. This price also includes the Fire Commission audit. Request the Board to authorize the Chair to sign this contract.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
I'll say these, I will add that this group has done an amazing job as our auditor for the last 3 years.
Yes, this will be the 4th.
They have presented as a deeper level of inspection and information than anybody that we've had.
Yeah.
They've done a tremendous job.
And they've navigated this too, because their office was actually condemned temporarily during the flood because it was completely flooded. But they just kept moving along, working from home, working from other offices. So they've been great to work with.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank y'all.
Let's move to 3.4C, County Attorney Report. Michelle, you have anything?
I do not have anything for Fire Board.
Move to 3.5, Staff Reports and Requests.
We have none, Mr. Chairman.
3.6, Closed Session. Anything, Michelle?
I do not have anything.
Okay. 3.7, approval of minutes for March 3rd, 2025, regular meeting. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any questions on the 3.8 for agenda consent items? Any questions on those? If not, they'll be approved by consent. 3.9, informational items.
You have a thorough report from the county's Veteran Service Office, so hope y'all had a chance to look at that.
3.10, upcoming meetings. Next one will be for today.
And next one will be made,
What about,
May 5th.
what about?
okay, so I have
Board workshop?
I've got a list here.
I thought you might.
April 14th, board workshop is here at 1 o'clock. And April 24th is a North Carolina Association of County Commissioners District meeting here at the Ag Building. It's 5:30 to 7:30. And then we were looking at budget workshops. I think, Caleb, is this right, April the 29th?
Yes,
That's on Tuesday.
that'd be on Tuesday.
What time is that?
Huh?
What kind?
We have not set a time for that. We need to set a time for that. May the 1st will be the next one, May the 8th. And I think that one will start at 5 o'clock because that's when we do the Board of Education, Fire Commission, and the Sheriff. And then May the 15th. So we need set times for April 29th, May the 1st, and May the 15th. And we don't have to do those tonight. We can do those, I can hold the board and
Maybe
see what's
that's a good
best.
idea, just wait on the board. So
Okay. I can do that, and I'll send you a list of those.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
We probably ought to give Philip a knock to see when he goes looking for property.
I think
We would have any,
The-
final approval back in front of the board. How's that?
yeah, the people's back on, they set that price. Okay, 3.11, everybody's clear, we'll adjourn.
If I may,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, one of the things that we, along with all the 23 impacted counties in western North Carolina, have been unified in our attempt to bring about clarity and release of some of the funding that is held for us at the federal and state level. And there's been a real groundswell of advocacy to try to reach out to these agencies. A lot of the monies that have been appropriated from the legislature, both federal and state, has not filtered down to the local level at all. And we are navigating, as every other county and municipality is, navigating that process of trying to get the paperwork in place and get go through the guidance that we've been given in order to release those funds and get them available for local assistance. We continue to do that. It's a unbelievably complicated process.
Frustrating.
And it's very frustrating. It really is. But I really, there's nothing worse than someone in a led position saying, trust me when I say, but I'm going to say, trust me when I say we are advocating at every level possible, from local, state, and federal, to facilitate these fundings. The large items, one of the big things that will be coming this summer is the Community Development Block Grant for emergency relief, CDBG money that will be used a lot for county and for housing, both with the non-governmental organizations and other nonprofits and 501c3s. So these, there's a lot of things that's coming, that's being held right now at the review status, but we are pushing really hard every day to try to release these funds and to get these things available so that we can then pass them along. But like many other counties, we are working through the process, and very little has